It's the final weekend of the college softball regular season as the fourth-ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders welcome in the Baylor Bears for the second of a three-game set here in Lubbock, Texas at Tracy Sellers Field. My name's Will Connerly, happy to be with you tonight. Yesterday, Texas Tech shuts out the Bears' Caitlin Terry with a gem, a 7-inning complete game, one-hit shutout. As we look at the box score, 5 runs on 5 hits for Texas Tech. Jasmine Burns had the big 3-run home run that came in the 6th inning. It was a low-scoring affair. The first hit of the game didn't come until the 4th inning. Caitlin Terry with the win. Peyton Tanner picked up the loss, working 5 innings, allowing 4 hits and 5 earned, and struggled with 6 walks. Leah Cran, the only hit for the Baylor Bears in the series opener yesterday. We look at Brooklyn Carter atop this Bears order. She has been great. 24 stolen bases, second in the Big 12. Drew a walk yesterday as well, extending her on-base streak to 17 games here this season. For Texas Tech, a ton of big bats in the lineup to highlight. Jackie Liz, certainly one of them. She's 1 home run shy of 60 in her career, and she's been getting aboard quite a bit in 29 of the last 30 games, and she drew 3 free passes yesterday in the series opener. What a great addition she has been to the Red Raiders in their power attack here this season as they look to take the series this afternoon. Coming up next, Texas Tech and Baylor first pitch and lineups on the other side. Samantha Lincoln getting the start in the circle for the Red Raiders, the sophomore. 12th start of the season, 57 2/3 with a 2.55 ERA. Texas Tech has not lost a game she has started here this season. So after Caitlin Terry's great effort last night, off to another left-hander in Samantha Lincoln in the circle this evening for the second of the 3-game set against the Baylor Bears. Here's the lineup. She'll face Amber Tobin. We highlight the 3-hitter, a .352 batting average on the season. Brooklyn Carter, who we showed you off the top, will lead off this lineup, and Samaya Jones hits second. The 3 that Lincoln will face to open up this ball game. So big game for the Baylor Bears. They entered the weekend 6th in the conference, dropped to 7th after losing yesterday. And a new wrinkle this season with the top 8 making the Big 12 tournament. Baylor in jeopardy of missing the Big 12 tournament, depending on what they do over The next couple days against Texas Tech as the first pitch is fouled away. Brooklyn Carter, the senior at the plate, a .329 hitter this season. And 0-2 count. Lincoln a .255 ERA, 56 punch-outs to just 12 walks on the year. Low and inside. And meanwhile for Texas Tech, after winning the series opener, as that's lifted toward left field in foul ground, and arranging to make the grab is Desiree Spearman for the first out. Here's the Red Raiders defensive alignment. Spearman, who just made the grab in foul ground. Got Panel at third, Tony at short. And a bunt dropped down the first base line. Glove to first, and in time. The lefty Samantha Lincoln fielding her position nicely, and Samaya Jones gone after just one pitch on the bunt attempt up the first base line against the left-hander. And she shovels it on to first. Jackie Liss is there. And 2 up, 2 down to start the night for Samantha Lincoln. That'll bring Amber Tovin to the plate. And the left-handed hitting shortstop out of Northridge, California. 5 home runs, 47 driven in. Hitting .352 on the season. And the 0-1 just off the plate. And tapped right back to Lincoln. And she fields her position once again. So grabs a bunt and a little dribbler back to the lefty. And it's on to first, a 1-2-3 inning to start the ball game for Samantha Lincoln. Red Raiders come to the plate next. Sadie Ross getting the start for the Baylor Bears this evening. 29 strikeouts to 28 walks in 46 2/3 with a 3.90 ERA for the sophomore right-hander. First start for her since March 11th. She had 5 innings of 1-run ball at Stetson. Made 10 starts a year ago, but it's been quite some time since she has started. Did throw a scoreless inning of relief yesterday. And we highlight the Texas Tech Red Raider batting order. Caitlin Terry, someone certainly to look at, a .479 batting average to lead the Big 12. And oh, by the way, improved in the circle yesterday with 21 wins. Top 10 in the country in batting average and in many pitching statistics as well, as she is leading the way. One of 25 finalists, along with her teammate Nyjah Kennedy for the USA Softball Player of the Year award announced earlier this week. And 2 Red Raiders on that top 25 list, and Terry certainly living up to the billing with what she did in the circle yesterday as Mia Williams leads off this bottom of the first inning. And a ground ball to third. Williams retired. Kagan Marshall handles it at the hot corner. Tovin at short, Piper at first, and Leah Cran at first, Piper at second. Jones Carter and Gussman left to right in the outfield for the Bears. Abby Flores doing the catching of Sadie Ross, who now faces Jackie Liss after Mia Williams grounds out to third. One ball, one strike to Liss. 15 home runs on the season. Watches it down. Mia Williams leading off. Not something we've seen too often this year. Just the 3rd time this season. And she grounds out to begin the Red Raiders' bottom of the first inning. And Liss takes on the outer half to make it a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Liss drawing 3 walks in the series opener. And she rips that to right field and has a base knock. So Jackie Liss getting aboard on a nice piece of 2-strike hitting to right field for the Red Raiders first baseman. And the first hit of the evening comes from Jackie Liss. Took us all the way to the 4th inning before either team got a hit in the series opener. Here's Jasmine Burns. Takes a strike. Burns left the yard yesterday with a 3-run shot late in the ballgame to help the Red Raiders pull away in their 5-0 series opening victory. That's a foul ball down the third base line. Liss will have to go back to first base. An 0-2 count. Now to the catcher. And Burns ripped to right field. That's in the gap. She's looking for 2. And Jackie Liss moves around the base paths. Runners now on the corners as Burns is held to a single, rips it in the gap. And back-to-back 2-strike hits from the Red Raiders. Burns launches it all the way to the wall. Jackie Liss getting held at third base. And Burns comes through with a single on an 0-2 pitch that she really got a hold of. Now Burns hit the home run yesterday, now with 14 on the season. She was an All-American last year at Ohio State, had 25 home runs, a program record for the Buckeyes and Big Ten record until this year. But back-to-back games with home runs for Burns and an 0-2 pitch that she rips to right field to put runners on the corners. Here with 1 out to Taylor Panel, who takes a strike on the outer half. The junior hitting .365, OPS north of 1,000 with 8 home runs and 45 driven in. She takes it low with the left-handed catcher Flores behind the dish. Does have a good arm back there. Saw her throw out Maya Davis yesterday, the top base stealer in the conference, as that's pulled foul by Panel. And off the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Panel. The junior transfer from Tennessee who got the scoring started with a sacrifice fly yesterday. And then went 2 for 2 as well, and that's ground ball up the middle. Could turn 2, and it is a double play for Baylor. So they get out of the bottom of the first despite back-to-back hits from the Red Raiders, turning 2, no score after an inning.
This is Holden at 10. No budget, no spending alerts, no shot. And this is Future Holden. When Holden was 10, Mom signed him up for Lubbock National Student Visa debit card. That first account helped him learn about money early, smart spending, budgeting, and a cash bonus for good grades.
So, what do we use our cash rewards for?
We took Bella to prom.
It's not too late to get your own student card.
They look at us and wonder, what's out there?
We are.
We've never been the type to stand to the side, letting world-changing ideas go untested. We push even beyond our own expectations. Here is seen across the country and heard around the world. We strive to be bold, to be impactful, and to challenge the status quo.
Because from here,
And here.
And even here,
It's possible.
Series history between the Bears and Red Raiders. 88th all-time meeting between these two Lone Star State squads. Baylor 29-6 all-time in Lubbock, Texas, leading the all-time series 60-27. However, the Red Raiders getting the best of the Bears as of late, including taking the series opener yesterday. Behind a great effort from Caitlin Terry in the circle. Jazzy Burns hits the home run. It's the Red Raiders' 49th win of the year. Now 20-2 in Big 12 play. Already going to be the #1 seed in the Big 12 tournament in Oklahoma City next week. But they look to keep winning and help their odds of hosting a regional and perhaps a super if they can keep up their winning ways. Leah Cran leading off this top of the second inning. Solid inning of work for Samantha Lincoln in the first, retired the side in order. Got a fly out and foul ground, followed by fielding a bunt and then getting a little tapper back to her, getting the second and third out of the inning herself, and a swing and a miss on a 2-0 offering from Leah Cran. Her third year with the program, a Corpus Christi, Texas native. And she has a single to center field to begin this top of the second inning. It's Cran's 44th hit of the year, hitting about 280 on the season. And she's aboard with the Bears' first hit of the evening. A leadoff single to begin the top of the second inning. So now Faith Piper comes up. looking to square, but Lincoln fires a strike. Piper 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs yesterday. Drops down a bunt right to Lincoln, and it's not in time to first. So the first two Bears reach here in the top of the second inning, and they've got something brewing with 2 on and nobody out. A bunt single for Faith Piper. Lincoln has had to be active early on in this ball game. Fielded a bunt and a ground ball back to her in the first with success, but not in time to get Piper there. So back-to-back singles. One to center by Cran, who's now at second. And Faith Piper a bunt single, and Olivia Bittner now up to the plate, and she looks to bunt, trying to sacrifice her at-bat with runners on first and second and nobody out, and fouls it away. Now an 0-2 count. Here to the freshman. Hometown of Denton, Texas. Starred at Ryan High School, and an 0-2 count. That's a ground ball on to first. Mia Williams handling her position for the first out, but runners advance to second and third on the ground ball to the right side. So Bittner, who was looking to sacrifice her at bat, does a job with a ground ball to advance the runners. It brings Kagan Marshall to the plate. And Lincoln paints the inside corner. Strike one. Marshall, a freshman out of Robinson, Texas. A very young Baylor roster. Just 4 seniors. Marshall watching downstairs. A ball and a strike here with 1 out, 2 in scoring position for the Bears. And it's fouled back by Marshall. Hitting .246 on the season. But has plenty of pop, the freshman leading the team with 9 home runs, most by a Baylor freshman since 2019. The 1-2. Another foul ball. Marshall showing some fight. 12-game on base streak for her entering the weekend. The 1-2. Marshall lifts this out to left, ranging in to make the grab is Spearman for the second out. So a big out right there. So you had the power stick up in Kagan Marshall for the Baylor Bears. And the freshman pops out to left field. That'll bring Abby Flores to the plate. A swing and a miss. The 5'4" junior catcher, 4th year of college softball. A 156 hitter this season. She's driven in 5. And would love to add to that total here as the Bears look to draw first blood, but Flores down in the count 0-2. With 2 outs and 2 on here in the second inning. Lincoln fires, gets the swing and a miss. Baylor strands 2 in scoring position. Lincoln with the punch out. No score after an inning and a half of action. as Lincoln goes with the rise ball to strike out Flores and end the threat in the top of the second. No score as we've arrived at the bottom of the second inning here from Tracy Sellers Field. Great crowd on hand. Final series of the regular season for the Red Raiders, but the faithful for Jerry Glasgow's squad hoping for more home games come postseason time as well. As the first pitch here on the bottom of the second is a ground ball through the right side. Lauren Allred getting aboard on the first pitch she sees in the bottom of the second. The third hit for the Red Raiders after having two in the first, but a double play ended the threat. And Lauren Allred getting aboard as she knocks a single through the right side. It brings Desiree Spearman to the plate. A dozen home runs and 46 driven in for the junior, hitting .347 this season. And the left fielder up to the dish here again, Sadie Ross, and she's one of 11 sophomores for the Baylor Bears. Mentioned it earlier, a young team, just 7 upperclassmen on this roster. Ross, who
batting for the Red Raiders,
took her talents to Waco, Texas, originally from Colorado. Her first start since March 11th and first this season in Big 12 play. But got out on the rubber yesterday through a scoreless inning of relief. And the Red Raiders 5-0 series opening victory as Spearman pulls the 0-1 foul. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Desiree Spearman. Went 0 for 2 yesterday. Watches off the plate. Lauren Allred, who went 1 for 1 in the series opener with an RBI and a walk. Standing at first, Jerry Glasgow now talking to Spearman. But Allred starting to get going. She was a big factor for the Red Raiders in their run to the Women's College World Series last year, an all Big 12 second team selection. Had a 5 RBI game for the second time this season earlier this week, having a couple bombs against Tarleton State on Tuesday, and was the team's RBI and run leader a year ago when Texas came a game away from winning the national championship, and they're looking to make another deep run here this season as Spearman fights it off on the 1-2. Good at-bat being put together by Desiree Spearman. Fouls another one. The El Paso, Texas native began her career at New Mexico State, where she just put up some unbelievable numbers and making an impact for the Red Raiders. Here in 2026, and hits with a 2-ball, 2-strike count as she watches it down. Ross tried to change pace. And another foul ball that gets out of play. So Spearman making Sadie Ross work here in the bottom of the second inning. Inning started with a Lauren Allred single on the first pitch. And Spearman watches that, runs the count full. Spearman, ground ball to third. There's one, and there's two. The Bears turning two for the second time in as many innings this evening. Had an inning-ending double play in the first, and a 5-4-3 turn there started by Marshall at the hot corner. Gets it off to Faith Piper, and they complete the relay in time. So despite a lengthy at-bat from Desiree Spearman, she grounds into a double play. And that brings up Haley Toney. The sophomore hitting .325, the everyday shortstop for the Red Raiders a year ago. It's been the same this season, a 1-1 count after the swing and miss. Just one of two sophomores on the team, the other the starting pitcher for the Red Raiders tonight in Samantha Lincoln. And the 1-1. It's off the plate. Toney 0 for 3 yesterday. Hits with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. And watches it up and in. Toney, ground ball to short, deep in the hole, and not in time to first, despite the effort from Amber Tobin. It's Haley Toney who legs out an infield single. Deep in the hole, backhanded by the shortstop Amber Tobin, but just not in time, and the sophomore Haley Toney gets aboard. Now here's Maya Davis. Primarily have seen her in the leadoff spot this season for Texas Tech, but hitting 8th in the order here this evening. A 500 OBP, hitting .437. Very speedy as well, leading the conference in stolen bases. Went 0 for 2 with a walk drawn yesterday, the 2-1. Misses inside. And she set a Texas Tech record last year in hits, and she has 76 so far this season, which is the 4th most in program history. After setting the record 1 year ago, she has 34 stolen bases on the season. Was caught trying to swipe a bag yesterday, but that mark is tied for the 2nd most in a single season in program history, 2 shy of the record of 36. And 2nd in the country with those 36. Ground ball Right back to Sadie Ross. She'll flip it on to first, and Sadie Ross inducing ground balls. The Baylor Bears turning a pair of double plays through a couple innings to keep the Red Raiders off the board. No score after 2 innings of action.
Reliant is the home of free electricity, so your home can be the home of endless possibilities. With the truly free weekends electricity plan, you get free electricity every weekend automatically. That's free electricity from 8 p.m. Friday to 12 a.m. Monday. It's the plan that puts the possible in possibilities. Truly free weekends from Reliant, proud partner of Texas Tech Athletics.
We are creating an unusually amazing customer experience.
We don't push product. We want to understand how we can help.
Where UMB and the relationship officers do a fantastic job is getting to know the customer, build trust, and let them know they care.
I think everyone sells relationship banking, but we deliver it.
Here's a look at the resume for the Baylor Bears. They've played the 19th toughest schedule in the country, 2-14 in quad one games, a 41 RPI at 27-24 entering the week. They were on that bubble, but they're also on the bubble to get into the conference tournament as well. The top 8 teams go. They're currently 7th right now with just a half-game lead, and Glenn Moore, his 26th season at the helm, took over in 2001. He has won a lot of ball games and brought a lot of success to the program in Waco, Texas, going to the Women's College World Series in 2011, 2014, and 2017. Made a super just a couple years ago. They were picked to finish 8th in the preseason poll. Sit at 7th right now as we've got no score after a couple innings. We start the 3rd inning of action from Tracy Sellers Field tonight. Samantha Lincoln working to Gianna Gussman. To lead off this inning, then it's back to the top of the lineup card for the Bears. Gussman grounds the 0-2 pitch to first base. Jackie Liss is there to step on the bag, and there's one out. And for Glenn Moore as well, I mean, this Baylor Bears team in 25 seasons at the helm coming into this year, Baylor has cracked the top 25 in all but one season. He's taken them to 16 regionals, 7 super regionals, and 4 appearances in the Women's College World Series. As it's Brooklyn Carter up for a second time. Popped out her first time up in foul ground as the left fielder Desiree Spearman was able to grab it to begin the top of the 1st inning. And now hits with a 1-2 count after fouling that offering back. But they played such a tough schedule as well. You see that RPI. It's going to be interesting to see. And obviously fighting for their lives here this weekend to try to get into the Big 12 tournament. As that is another pop-up toward left field. Gets over the head of Spearman. Extra bases in the works for Carter as she is standing on second. A 2-bagger for Brooklyn Carter as she rips a double to left. It's the Bears' third hit of the evening, as she goes to the opposite field. Popped out in foul ground last time up to left, but this one gets over the head of Spearman. And Brooklyn Carter has a double with one out here in the top of the third inning. And that ball toward right center field, off the wall from Samaya Jones. Jones will have to retreat back to first, but Carter comes across to score. It's a 1-0 Bears lead as Samaya Jones comes through with an RBI single. So a double followed by a single on the first pitch that Samaya Jones sees. Hits off the wall, takes a big round around first. Ball got in quickly, but Carter easily able to score from second. And it's Jones who gets back to first just in time. So give the Red Raiders credit, getting it in quickly. Another first pitch swing from third to first in time for the double play. Panel to Williams to Liss in a 5-4-3 turn. Third double play in total we've seen tonight, but it's the Baylor Bears who take the lead on a Samaya Jones RBI single. And then Amber Tovin grounds into the 5-4-3 double play. A 1-0 Bears lead as we go to the bottom of the third. Here's what the Big 12 tournament would look like if the season ended today. Texas Tech already locking up that #1 seed. They would take on the 8th seed in Utah. Baylor currently 7th right now. They would play Arizona, but fighting to get into the Big 12 tournament. Just a half game ahead of Utah. They're 9-13. Utah 8-12-1 here this season. And so they'll be watching closely. Utah taking on one of the top teams in the league this weekend in Arizona, in Salt Lake City. So that'll be something to watch for Baylor, as they likely need to pick up a victory to cement themselves over these final 2 regular season games in the Big 12 tournament. Because Iowa State, they're 8-14 on the outside looking in right now. They're taking on UCF here this weekend, and they fell 8-5 today in Ames. So a lot to watch across the Big 12, fighting for those final spots in the Big 12 tournament. And the Baylor Bears with a 1-0 lead as we start the bottom of the third inning, with Caitlin Terry at the plate. Not many teams have their 9th hitter in the order hit .479 on the year, but that's what Caitlin Terry has for her batting average right now. One of the top marks in the country, leading the conference as well. Hits with a full count. And draws a walk to begin the bottom of the third inning. So that'll bring us back to the top. It's Mia Williams who watches the first bounce in, and Terry, who is running off to second as it was thrown down to first, and she takes the bag. So Caitlin Terry moves into scoring position after drawing the leadoff walk. And the Red Raiders have the tying run at second. Terry caught in between first and second on the pop down by Flores. And she takes second. Williams fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Williams rips this out to right. That'll tie up the ball game as Caitlin Terry comes home to score. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the third as Mia Williams comes through with an RBI single. She drives the 1-1 pitch to right center. 68 runs driven in this season for Mia Williams as Caitlin Terry comes home to score. Jackie Liss, ground ball through the left side, and she's got a 2-hit day going. Runners on first and second for the Red Raiders with nobody out. So Williams with 68 runs driven in, now just 2 shy of tying the program record, which is 70. And it brings up Jazzy Burns. Sadie Ross fires a strike, an 0-1 count. So 6 hits already for Texas Tech. We're tied at 1. Runners on first and second. And the 0-1. Just off the plate. Williams at second, Liss at first. The 1-1. Burns gets a hold of it. That'll fly. Make it 3 straight games. Jazzy Burns has left the yard. It's a 3-run shot for the 2nd straight day. And the Red Raiders strike here in the bottom of the 3rd. Burns turns on it. She knew it right off the bat. And her 15th home run of the year. It's a 3-run shot, and it puts the Red Raiders ahead by 3. Gets the sign of approval from Jerry Glasgow as she rounds third and comes home. Everybody knew about the power that the All-American had with 25 long balls at Ohio State a year ago. A Buckeyes record and a Big Ten record until this season. And now her 15th home run of the year. And she is seeing it so well. 3 straight games with a home run. Had the big swing for the Red Raiders in the series opener and comes through once again here in game 2 of this 3-game set to close out the regular season. That'll bring up Taylor Pannell. Still nobody out, a 2-0 count. And a 4-1 lead for Texas Tech. As it's taken for a strike, who Tech has hit 115 home runs this season. In what is their 54th game of the year. Pannell ground ball to short. Tovin has it. And it's on to first in time for the first out of the inning.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 11, Lauren Allred.
And they've really hit a lot of home runs here in Lubbock. They've hit 115 now on the year, and they've only allowed 30 as Lauren Allred comes to the plate. 1 for 1 so far. She singled in her first trip to the plate. But they've now hit 47 home runs in what is their 18th home game of the season, and 115 in total. Nearly doubling the total that they had in 2025 as Allred draws a walk. Second free pass issued by Sadie Ross here in this frame. But in the best season in program history last year, Texas Tech hit 60 home runs, but 115 now this season. And when they've hit a home run, it's been good for the Red Raiders. They are 41-0 when hitting a home run this season, improving upon that mark yesterday with the Jazzy Burns home run, and she comes through here in this bottom of the third with a 3-run shot to make it a 4-1 score. 4 across in the inning so far. 1 aboard, 1 out for Desiree Spearman. That's ground ball to third, on to first, but not in time, as Marshall tried to start what would have been the third double play turned by the Baylor infield, as they got a 6-3 double play to end the first, a 5-4-3 turn in the second. But Spearman beats out the relay and reaches on the fielder's choice there to bring Haley Toney to the plate. With now 2 outs, and she drops down a bunt right in front of the plate. Flores jumps out in front, and getting back to second in the nick of time was Spearman. Caught off the bag for a moment, as Flores just had to eat it, and it'll go down as a single for Haley Toney as she reaches first. You see Spearman took the turn, they popped it down to second, and she gets back on the bag just in time. So now our crew of Perry Owens, John Baca, and Mike Hernandez all come together. And they're looking to review this one. I believe the review is going to be if Haley Toney hit this one twice on her bunt single. And so our 3 umpire crew having a conversation about this one.
This play is under further review.
They will go look at the video to determine this as we get a glance at it now. You can see she hit it once. Right there. Did she hit it a second time is what's the question. So it was ruled a Haley Toney single, but they're looking at this one here in the bottom of the third inning. So if it's ruled that Tony hit the ball twice, it'd be a dead ball and she'd be ruled out, and that's what they're looking at right now. And if not, if the call stands, it'd be runners on first and second with 2 outs for Maya Davis. Davis in the 8th spot of the order for the first time here this season. We've seen her in the leadoff spot in 49 of the 53 games, but down in the order here and potentially coming up with runners on first and second and 2 down as they're reviewing this Haley Tony, what was ruled as a fair ball and a bunt single, but they're looking to see if she hit this one twice. And our crew still looking over the video to try to determine what the outcome will be. 8 hits so far for Texas Tech in this game, leading 4-1, all 4 of their runs coming in this bottom of the 3rd inning. As Jazzy Burns hit her 15th home run of the season, now tied with Jackie Liss for second most on the team. Mia Williams has 19 to pace the squad. And we'll get the call here in just a moment.
After further review, the call on the field is going to be changed to a foul ball. The count is now no balls, 1 strike.
Okay,
Baylor
so changed to a foul ball. Generally, if the batter intentionally hits the ball a second time, it's a dead ball and the batter is out. But in this case, ruled a foul ball. And so Tony will go back to the plate now with an 0-1 count after her bunt single gets overruled as a foul ball, and now a 1-1 count. So Sadie Ross still working in the circle after that replay review, trying to get out of this 3rd inning. Ground ball right side, gathered by Piper at second, and gets it on to first for the 3rd out. Not before Jazzy Burns has a 3-run shot. She's homered in 3 straight, and the Red Raiders lead by 3 after 3 as she pulls this over the left field wall. We go to the 4th inning. Red Raiders ahead by 3. It's a 4-1 Texas Tech lead as we start the fourth inning. Jazzy Burns, a 3-run home run. Had the big swing in the series opener. Let's get the fans excited here in Lubbock, Texas at Tracy Sellers Field. Red Raiders win that opener 5-0 yesterday. A 4-1 now as we start the fourth. Another inning of action for Samantha Lincoln as she works to 4, 5, and 6 in the Bears order. Leah Cran up at the plate. Singled her first time up. Watches it down and out. Texas Tech hitting a home run 41-0 when hitting a home run this season. Pretty phenomenal for Texas Tech as it's fouled away. We've got 6 different players with 10 or more home runs here this season, including now 3 with 15 or more, with Burns hitting her 15th of the season last inning. A 3-run shot to break what was a 1-1 tie. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Cran. Had the only Baylor hit yesterday as Caitlin Terry pitched a complete game 1-hit shutout for her 21st victory of the season. Lincoln so far has surrendered 4 hits, and that's low to Cran to make it a full count. Cran leading the team with 19 extra base hits. Had a single to lead off the second, trying to get aboard to lead off this fourth inning. And she skies this out to left. Spearman comes in to make the grab for the first out. So Lincoln able to get the leadoff batter out.
At the plate, number 26, Faith Piper.
She's retired the leadoff hitter in 3 of 4 innings so far this evening as Faith Piper digs in. She singled in her first trip, and first pitch fouls it away, an 0-1 count. Piper 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs yesterday. That's up and out, the sophomore out of Katy, Texas, second year with the program. A .311 hitter. Has started every game for the Baylor Bears here in her sophomore campaign, and fouls another one straight back. A ball and 2 strikes. So you had Terry yesterday, Lincoln today, national TV game tomorrow. And Nyjah Kennedy expected to pitch, the 2-time National Pitcher of the Year. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Lincoln goes to the off-speed, gets the strikeout. Burns down to first in time. And Samantha Lincoln has retired the first 2 here in the fourth, looking for a shutdown 1-2-3 frame. It brings Olivia Bittner to the plate. Grounded out to second. Her first time up. But Samantha Lincoln misses upstairs. Can sometimes be the forgotten arm on this team when many people bill Nyjah Kennedy and Caitlin Terry as the best duo of pitchers in the country, but Samantha Lincoln, the sophomore lefty, certainly has been excellent in her own right. A 7-0 unblemished record on the year. And coming into this outing, had 3 straight scoreless appearances, and Texas Tech 11-0 in games she has started this season. That's fouled away by Bittner. Her last start came against Utah State before this one tonight on the 13th of April. As it had been Kennedy or Terry in each of the last 9 games for Texas Tech. She allowed 5 and 4 1/3 in that start at Utah State, but followed it up with 3 straight scoreless appearances entering tonight. And tries to climb the ladder. Bittner lays off, and it's now a 3-1 count. Another one fouled away. But 11-0 in her starts. It's now her 20th appearance of the year as well. Getting the nod here in game 2 of the 3-game set for the sophomore left-hander. And opponents on the season entering tonight just hitting 195 off the lefty. She's allowed 4 hits so far this evening. As that's right to third, gathered by Panel, and it's a 1-2-3 shut down fourth for Samantha Lincoln. Red Raiders back to the plate when we come back for the bottom of the 4th.
The true strength of West Texas is in its people, where oil fields meet the heart of our community. Texas Tech Athletics is proud to partner with an industry that drives our region forward. From classrooms to stadiums, we're ensuring our community thrives. Together, we're creating pathways to success. Texas Tech and oil and gas, powering progress together.
Welcome to Abuelos, where fresh meets flavor. Experience the incredible flavors of Abuelos Mexican restaurant, combining homemade cooking with rich flavors of coastal and interior Mexican cuisine. Enjoy made-from-scratch Mexican food, from our house-made salsas, sauces, tortillas, and sides, to our hand-rolled enchiladas, traditional Tex-Mex items, and unique house specialties. Come in today and enjoy great food and new traditions, because the best memories are made around the table. Abuelos, where the taste of Mexico comes alive.
Time doesn't wait. It doesn't pause for tradition, or history, or even greatness. It keeps moving, and if we don't move with it, we get left behind. Texas Tech stands at the edge of something bigger. Every touchdown, every win has led to this. The future won't build itself. We build it.
Here's a look at the Red Raiders resume as we gear up for postseason action. They know they'll be the #1 seed in the Big 12 tournament in Oklahoma City next weekend, hoping to get back to Oklahoma City as well once again for the Women's College World Series. 10-2 in Quad 1, 11th in the RPI, a 59th strength of schedule. That RPI at 11th, it'll be interesting to see where the committee slots them come NCAA tournament time. Hoping to be a regional host once again, and perhaps if they can keep winning and have a strong showing in the tournament, try to be a national seed as well, and maybe if they get their host to super as Maya Davis grounds out to short to begin this bottom of the 4th inning. You know, when you look at the RPI, it is interesting because the SEC certainly dominating in that fashion as they have 5 of the top 6 teams in RPI in the country. And so their strength of schedule is certainly going to be high when you're playing a ton of conference opponents. Oklahoma, who's put together another fantastic campaign. The Red Raiders able to beat them last year at the Women's College World Series, a team that was on a run of consecutive national championship victories, but they're atop the SEC right now. You've got Arkansas leading the way in RPI. And they're currently 7th in the SEC, so it will be interesting to see what the committee does. Caitlin Terry at the plate, hitting with a 3-0 count. She walked, then stole second in her first plate appearance in the 3rd inning. And she draws another free pass here with 1 out in the 4th. The 4-pitch walk to Caitlin Terry as the 479 hitter, which leads the team, is the 2nd best batting average in program history. Has drawn a pair of walks tonight as the lineup card gets flipped over for another turn. Mia Williams coming to the plate, and Jerry Glasgow going out. Right before the pitch was offered by Sadie Ross, they called it off, and now Perry Owens having a conversation with Jerry Glasgow, and coming in to run is Michaela Garcia for Caitlin Terry at first. So they wave that pitch off after Caitlin Terry draws the walk. A speedy runner in her own right who swiped a bag in her last trip on the base paths in the 3rd. Draws the walk here, and now Garcia runs for her as Mia Williams comes to the plate. And Williams lifts it to center. It's gone. A 6-1 lead for Texas Tech. A 2-run shot for Mia Williams, number 20 on the season, as she goes dead center. Mia Williams continues to produce. Singled her last time up, a 2-run shot to center there. And now 20 home runs for Mia Williams on the season. We'll have a new arm come in for the Baylor Bears. Red Raiders up 6-1. The junior right-hander Lexi Warnicki now into the ball game. Her 26th appearance of the season, a 3-4 record with a 5.43 ERA across 59 1/3. And she works to Jackie Liss. And the first offering of the evening for the Bears right-hander out of the bullpen, in for a strike. As Mia Williams hits a 2-run home run, Liss smokes that to right field, and she'll get aboard. 3 hits tonight for Jackie Liss after she reached 3 times on 3 walks in the series opener. So Mia Williams goes dead center for a 3-run shot that chases the starter Sadie Ross from the game, and Lexi Warnicki comes in and surrenders a single to right field from Jackie Liss, who's now 3 for 3 tonight. And that brings up Jazzy Burns. Burns 2 for 2, had a home run in her last trip to the plate in the 3rd inning, a 3-run shot, also singled in the 1st. Up to 15 home runs on the year. A ball and a strike the count. And Jazzy Burns, it is deep and just at the wall, grabbed by Brooklyn Carter as Burns nearly left the yard for the 3rd time here this series, but it's warning track power as Brooklyn Carter, the center fielder, is there to make the grab. Right at the wall for the 2nd out. A long 2nd out at that, but Burns retired for the 1st time tonight. And it brings Taylor Pannell to the plate, and she takes the first for a strike. Warnicki, a junior from East Bernard, Texas. And that's right back to her. On to first, Pannell retired, but not before Texas Tech strikes for 2 more. Mia Williams goes deep, number 20 on the season for her. Red Raiders lead by 5 as we head to the 5th inning. A 6-1 Texas Tech lead as we start the top of the 5th inning. Mia Williams tying the program record for home runs and RBIs in a season with her 20th long ball of the year. Now up to 70 driven in on the season as she goes dead center for a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 4th inning. And that first one skied out to deep right center field. It flies over the wall, and Kagan Marshall hits her 10th of the year. And it's now a 6-2 ball game as the first pitch she sees in the top of the 5th flies over the wall, and the Bears add a solo shot. So just as we're talking about Mia Williams and all her home runs, Kagan Marshall enters the chat and hits her 10th of the season off the scoreboard in right center to make it a 6-2 ball game.
In to hit for the Bears, number 17, Gigi Lindsey.
So a pinch hitter now, Gigi Lindsey up to the plate, and she fouls the first one away. Lindsay, a sophomore out of Smithdale, Mississippi, second year with the program. Grabbing a bat and hitting in the spot of Abby Flores. And watches it down. Lindsay, 1 hit in 5 at-bats so far this year. Has been used quite a bit as a courtesy and pinch runner. 18 runs scored this season with 6 stolen bases, but just 5 at-bats recorded on the campaign. But grabbing a bat and pinch hitting, 1 for 5 so far on the season. Hits with a 2-1 count against Lincoln and pulls it foul. At just the 8th home run that Samantha Lincoln has surrendered this season. In 61 2/3 now worked. Just 8 long balls surrendered for the Red Raiders left-hander. So we've seen 3 home runs tonight, 2 from the Red Raiders. Jazzy Burns got it started with her 15th of the season. Then Mia Williams hits her 20th to tie a program record. And then the Bears answer with a home run of their own, with Kagan Marshall going to deep right center field. And Samantha Lincoln with a free pass, and that'll bring in a new arm. We'll tell you all about her when we come back. 6-2 Texas Tech on top. Chloe Riasetto into the ball game, the senior, making her 7th appearance of the season. A 3.71 ERA and 5 2/3 work this year. 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. So she enters for Samantha Lincoln. And the bunt dropped down. Riasetto gathers. It's wide to first. It gets behind, and Allred has to grab out in right field. And 2 getting aboard for the Bears as they drop down the bunt with success, and the throw gets beyond the reach of Jackie Liss at first as we get another look. Gusman dropping down the bunt. Riasetto going in to gather it, a pitcher who hasn't had a ton of action this season. And the throw is wide as it brings us back to the top of the Baylor lineup. And Brooklyn Carter, who doubled to left field her last time up. And Riasetto fires a strike, at 0-2 count now. The senior out of Friendswood, Texas. Ball pulled toward right field. That continues to go. And Brooklyn Carter What a time to have her first home run of the season. Gets Baylor right back in it here in the 5th inning. Now a 6-5 ball game as Brooklyn Carter turns on it, and her second extra base hit of the night leaves the yard to make it a 1-run game. You don't see that too often. Looking to slap something, instead pulls it over the right field wall. Into the stands for a home run. And a 3-run shot at that. The ball flying in West Texas this evening. 2 home runs from the Bears this inning. The Red Raiders have hit 2 in this game. And a 4 spot put on the board here in the top of the 5th by Baylor. Texas Tech leading by now just 1 run. And Texas Tech gonna go to the bullpen. A 6-5 score as we step aside. Nigeri Kennedy enters into the ballgame. A 1-run Texas Tech lead here in the 5th. And Jerry Glasgow calling on one of the most decorated arms in college softball, Nigeri Kennedy. Expect to see her start the game tomorrow on national TV. But being called upon right now in a 6-5 ball game in the 5th. Bears with 4 runs scored in this inning. Had the solo shot from Marshall to lead off the frame. And then Brooklyn Carter's first bomb of the year. Slaps it over the right field wall, a 3-run home run to make it a 1-run game. And Jerry Glasgow calls upon Nigeri Kennedy, 2-time National Pitcher of the Year, who's won 20 ball games for the Red Raiders this season and does have a couple saves and a 1.38 ERA, making her 31st appearance. Called upon here in the 5th with nobody out, 4 already across, and Samaya Jones at the plate. And the 1-2 upstairs. Kennedy entered the 1,000 strikeout club last month. For her career, registering over 1,000, and well, she adds on to that total as she catches Jones looking. A punch out there to begin her outing. And there's the first out here in the 5th. She's 1 strikeout shy now of 500 in a Texas Tech uniform. As the Topeka, Kansas native started her career at Stanford and now in her 2nd season with Texas Tech. Had a good weekend last time out against Arizona State. Picked up a couple of victories, including a complete game with 9 strikeouts in a start. As that bunt is dropped down the third base line onto first, but it won't be in time as Panel, tough play to make on the dribbler up the first base line. And Amber Tovin will get aboard on a bunt single with one gone here in the fifth inning.
At the plate, number 1, Leah Cran.
Brings Leah Cran to the plate. With one out and one on in the fifth inning, Kennedy well upstairs on her first offering. Kennedy rested most of the summer and the fall, but looking back to form like Texas Tech saw her last season, helping this program reach heights they've never seen before, making their first run to the Women's College World Series, and a lot of that because of Nyjah Kennedy and her excellence in the circle. One of the most popular and decorated players in the sport. And the velocity has ramped up toward the back half of this season, has seen an uptick in strikeouts. And they'll want to use her a lot for this stretch run. And in big situations, she gets called upon. Case in point, one-run game in the fifth. And they deploy Nyjah Kennedy. Who, alongside Caitlin Terry, was named on the top 25 college softball player of the year watch list, as that is a wild pitch, gets to the backstop and allows Tovin to reach second. So the Bears now have the tying run in scoring position here in the fifth with one out. And Leah Cran at the plate, who's 1 for 2 tonight, singled in the second, flew out to left in the fourth inning. All hit towards center field. It's carrying, and Maya Davis jumps up to make the grab. My, oh my, what a play. Texas Tech will look to see if the tag was in time there from Tovin, and it was. But the crowd roaring here at Tracy Sellers Field as Maya Davis makes an unbelievable grab. Brings the home run ball back. Maya Davis robbing Leah Cran of what would have been the Bears' third home run of the inning. And a spectacular grab as the center fielder climbs over the wall to make the catch. Talk so much about Maya Davis and what she's meant to this program, the active hits leader in college softball right now, toward the top of the country in stolen bases. But oh, don't forget, an all Big 12 defensive team selection last year as well, and certainly shows it right there with a spectacular robbing of a home run, jumping over the fence to steal it from Leah Cran. What a huge grab, and she keeps it at a 6-5 lead for Texas Tech, as the Bears were just inches away from taking a 7-5 lead tonight before
After
Maya
further review,
Davis.
the call on the field has been confirmed. The runner did leave on time. Texas Tech has one challenge remaining.
So the call has been confirmed, as Amber Tovin did leave in time. They reviewed that one. Texas Tech wanted another look to see if they could double up the runner at second with Tovin tagging, but she did leave in time after the grab was made. And what a sensational grab it was from the senior center fielder, Maya Davis. So Faith Piper hitting with an 0-2 count. Ground ball. Handled by Texas Tech. And Nyjah Kennedy comes in with a one-run game and keeps it there thanks to Maya Davis robbing a home run. 6-5 Red Raiders lead. They come to the plate for the bottom of the fifth. Next on ESPN+.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Whoa! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Whoa! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Alliance Checking has your back and your future. With a streamlined, hassle-free checking experience, you get the freedom to manage your money your way. Enjoy our best rate on deposits, plus stock rewards that stack up, turning everyday spending into real growth. Every purchase, every swipe, every transaction works harder for you. From coffee runs to big-ticket buys, spending money has never paid off like this. Alliance Credit Union, for people, not profit.
Calvis, throw it way out. Bring in a run. We got a double.
The Big 12 up.
Base runner.
6-5 score, Texas Tech leading, but Baylor with 2 home runs and 4 runs in the top of the fifth, making it a ball game. Here tonight as the 4th-ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders come to the plate here in the home half of the 5th inning. Lauren Allred up to the plate to lead off this frame, and she takes a strike. Single and a walk so far for Allred tonight. She takes above the zone. Allred goes to the opposite field, but in to make the grab is Samaya Jones for the first out. That'll bring up Desiree Spearman.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 8.
So much highlight reel play so far this evening. Seen 4 home runs, some milestones as well. Mia Williams hitting her 20th of the season, and on one swing ties a program record for home runs and RBIs with 20 and 70 respectively in a single season in Red Raider softball history. And Jazzy Burns has hit a home run in 3 straight games. She's up to 15. The Red Raiders as a team up to 116. 4 shy of doubling the total that they had from last season. And on paper, these numbers are just off the charts from the 2025 season offensively. And that's a team that was a game away from winning a national championship. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spearman strikes out, so Lexi Warnicki retiring the first 2 she sees here in the bottom of the 5th. But aside from the home runs, we get a glance at the swing and miss by Spearman on a great offering from Warnicki. It was a ball that wasn't a home run that probably takes the cake for the most spectacular play we've seen tonight, and that's Maya Davis out in center, robbing a home run last inning. The Baylor Bears, the lead at 7-6. Davis jumps over the wall to rob a home run and keep it at a 6-5 score. Haley Toney gets plunked, and she'll take first base. And in that last inning, with Baylor hitting a couple of home runs and making it just a one-run ball game, they deploy Nyjah Kennedy as well. And she was able to get out of the trouble, much thanks to the center fielder, Maya Davis, who made the spectacular home run robbery
At the plate, number 42,
of the Bears' first baseman, Leah Cram. So after the first two are retired, Toney gets hit, and here is Maya Davis. First pitch swinging and fouls it away. Davis, a couple ground balls tonight, primarily see her in the leadoff spot. A .432 hitter, .495 OBP. Instrumental in the Red Raiders' run in the College World Series last season, putting together another great campaign. Pacing the squad with 76 hits this year, which is the fourth most in program history, and she holds the top mark with what she did a year ago. She turns on this one, hopped up toward right, and there to make the play is Gianna Gussman. And Lexi Warnicki works around a two-out hit by pitch. Red Raiders held in check in the fifth. Texas Tech carries a 6-5 lead to the sixth inning. We look at the home runs from tonight's affair so far. Started off with Jazzy Burns going out to left field. Her 15th home run of the year gave the Red Raiders a 4-1 lead at the time. And then in the fourth inning, how about Mia Williams? Dead center, number 20 of the season, tying a program record in home runs and RBIs with that swing from Mia Williams. Leading off for just the third time this season and producing atop Jerry Glasgow's order. But in the fifth, it's the Bears who got involved with the home runs. As that flied off the scoreboard in right center from Kagan Marshall. And then it was Brooklyn Carter, her first of the year. It was a 3-run shot to make it a 1-run ball game. And after that home run, Texas Tech turns to Nyjah Kennedy, and she'll try to protect what is just a 1-run Texas Tech lead. So 4 home runs and a robbing of a home run from Maya Davis in center last inning to keep it at a 6-5 lead for Texas Tech. A few more inches, it would have given Baylor a 7-6 lead as Olivia Bittner leads off this top of the 6th inning. Fouls one away. So we've got a national TV game upcoming tomorrow between Texas Tech and Baylor. Final game of the regular season. It'll be a 1:30 start on ESPN. First time in a couple years that Baylor has played a national TV game. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Here to Bittner is Kennedy. Delivers, and Bittner pulls this to right. It drops. And she goes up to get it and pulls it to right field for a base hit. First hit of the night for Olivia Bittner. As Kennedy allows the single to lead off this 6th inning, and that brings up Kagan Marshall. Hit her 10th home run of the season last time up. This freshman really producing. And she takes for a strike. Kaitlyn Tovar running now at first, pinch running for Olivia Bittner, who pulled that 2-strike single to right field. That's a foul ball. Pretty impressive for Baylor. Kagan Marshall, 10 home runs as a freshman. Really cool story. Played high school ball about 8 miles from campus. Check swing there, though. She does go around. And Nyjah Kennedy makes quick work of Kagan Marshall for the strikeout. And there's 1 gone here in the 6th inning.
Everybody clap your hands.
So 1 out and 1 on. And it's Lexi Warnicki who is set to dig in and hit. A .333 hitter on the season. However, small sample size, just 2 hits in 6 at-bats with 1 run driven in. Has been hit twice as well. She's currently pitching for Baylor as well. She came out of the bullpen after the starter, Sadie Ross, worked 3 1/3 and allowed 6. Warnicki so far has gone an inning and 2/3 and has allowed just 1 hit. And 1 hit by pitch as well, but no runs allowed out of the pen. And now she grabs the bat and hits for the first time tonight. And we'll have to do it against Kennedy with a runner aboard and 1 out here in the 6th inning. So it's Tovar, the tying run at first base. A swing and a miss by Warnicki. And Kennedy blows it past Warnicki for the strikeout.
At the plate, number 20, Gianna Guzman.
Just tardy on the pitch upstairs, and Nyjah Kennedy with back-to-back swinging strikeouts. And a 0-1 count here to Gianna Gusman. She fouls it back in a 0-2 count. So Kennedy with 3 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 out of the bullpen so far. And she strikes out the side in the 6th. Catches Gusman looking, and the Red Raiders take a 1-run lead into the home half of the 6th as Nyjah Kennedy strikes out the side. The Big 12 tournament starting next Thursday in Oklahoma City. Seeding based on conference win percentage. All games will be here on ESPN Plus with the championship on ESPN. That's May 9th at noon Eastern time. The series finale will be on ESPN as well tomorrow. Nationally televised game for the final game of the regular season to close out the series between the Bears and the Red Raiders, who lead 6-5 right now. As we start the bottom of the 6th inning, it's Caitlin Terry at the plate, has walked in her first 2 times up. Picked up her 21st victory in the circle with a complete game 1-hit shutout yesterday. Such a dominant pitcher for Texas Tech this year, but has handled the bat with so much success as well. One of 6 Red Raiders with 10 or more home runs, 50 driven in, and hitting .479, which would be the 2nd best mark in program history, the top mark in the conference right now. Had a program record 24-game hit streak earlier this season as well. Hits with a 2-1 count. And a ground ball right side. Down on it at second is Piper. And she goes on to first to retire Terry to begin the 6th. For that Big 12 tournament, something Baylor certainly wants to be a part of, so they're given everything they have, and they have that huge motivating factor here this weekend, knowing they probably need to win one of these final 2 games to cement themselves in the tournament. Now, there's an avenue to get in if they don't. But as it stands now, currently 7th, Utah 8th right now. Utah 8-12-1. Baylor 9-13, so slightly ahead when you go off conference win percentage of Utah. And just to give you a glance of Utah going up against Arizona, it's a 6-0 Arizona lead over Utah right now in the bottom of the 6th inning. So that good news for the Baylor Bears. As they'll probably scoreboard watch throughout the evening and certainly tomorrow, but the scoreboard they're looking at right now in a tight ball game. Just trailing by a run here in the 6th as Mia Williams grounds out to the left side. And now 2 for 4 tonight with a single and a home run. She hit to center in the 4th, which was her 20th of the season to tie a program record. And Williams with 3 RBIs tonight as well. Putting her at 70 on the season, which is also tied for the program record. So tied for the program record in RBIs and home runs, and a couple shy of doubles as well with 18. That mark held by Kim Martinez, who had 21 in 1997, also holding that RBI record, which she now shares with Williams. So she has had a historic campaign for the Red Raiders here in 2026. Jackie Liss at the plate with a 1-2 count. Swings and misses. So Lexi Warnicki providing great work out of the pen for the Baylor Bears. She shuts down the heart of the order for the Red Raiders in the 6th. We go to the 7th. It's a 1-run ball game. Texas Tech leading 6-5. A 6-5 Texas Tech lead as we start the 7th inning. Nyjah Kennedy trying to close things out. 95 wins in her decorated career in the circle. 68 complete games, has 13 saves as well. And with all of those numbers, an ERA below 1 in her decorated career. And 13 saves under her belt, trying to add on to that total and see if she can shut down the Bears, looking for 3 outs. And trying to help the Red Raiders pick up their 50th win of the regular season, an 8th straight victory, and move to 21-2 in Big 12 play. As they already are the Big 12 regular season champions for a 2nd straight season. Brooklyn Carter at the plate, 2 for 3 in this ball game. Hit her first home run of the season, a 3-run shot. Last time up to make it a 1-run game. And then that's when Texas Tech entered Nyjah Kennedy, who gets a swing and a miss, a 1-2 count. Speaking of the Big 12 tournament, Texas Tech played Baylor to open up the tournament last year, a 4-0 victory. before going on to win the tournament, as that's fouled away. So they'll look to repeat as Big 12 tournament champions come next week, as they've already repeated as regular season champs. Looking to take the series as well. Head coach Jerry Glasgow has never lost a conference series in his career as a head coach. And if the Red Raiders can get 3 outs without allowing a run here tonight, he'll carry that impressive streak into the 2027 campaign. The 2-2 fouled away. But that is just unbelievable. He's 66-0 in conference series dating back to his time at Louisiana. The program wins 54 games last year, the most ever, looking for their 50th here tonight. But if you're the Baylor Bears looking to put up a fight here in the 7th, you're at the right spot of the lineup to do it. They've got the top of the order due up, and Brooklyn Carter has had a good day at the plate so far, with 2 knocks, an 18-game on-base streak for her as well, and another foul ball, working a good at-bat. Carter, who started her career at Washington, was a Pac-12 all-freshman team selection, actually helping the Huskies reach the Women's College World Series in 2023. And funny enough, she scored an insurance run in the 7th inning against then coached by Jerry Glasgow Louisiana team to help them secure that trip to the Women's College World Series back in 23. The 3-2 towards center. And Davis is there for the first out. A lengthy battle, and Kennedy wins it, getting the fly out to center. And the Bears down to their final 2 outs here in the 7th.
At the plate, number 77, Samaya Jones.
Brings up Samaya Jones, 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI and a strikeout. And watches the first call for a strike. Baylor in jeopardy of dropping their 5th consecutive game. That bunt dropped down, and that allowed Jones to reach. So the tying run aboard for the Bears here in the 7th. As Jones has good fortune with the bunt just over the glove of Kennedy. And it drops in between everybody on the infield dirt. A big swing and a miss by Amber Tovin. She's 1 for 3 tonight. So the Baylor offense, 9 hits for Texas Tech as well in this game. That ball tapped towards short, hits off of Tony, everybody reaches. And now the Bears have the tying run in scoring position and the go-ahead run in Amber Tovin at first base. Couple of awkward balls on the infield, helping the Bears reach. That goes down as a knock for Amber Tovin. It was a Samaya Jones bunt single, an Amber Tovin infield single, and 2 on with 1 out for the Bears here in the 7th. Drama here at Tracy Sellers Field. Nyjah Kennedy trying to close this thing out. Baylor looking to avoid losing their 5th straight game. And going into their final game of the regular season with their hopes of getting into the conference tournament certainly in some jeopardy. The final day of the regular season is Sunday. 3 Big 12 games on the docket for Sunday. including a game they'll want to watch in Utah and Arizona, a team they're just ahead of. But they're putting up a fight here in the 7th. Down by a run, tying run at second. Go ahead run at first here in a 6-5 ball game. And Leah Cran, who nearly gave the Bears the lead last time up in the 5th, but had her home run attempt robbed. Runners off for the Bears. And Samaya Jones advances to third with no throw. So the tying run moves up to third. The Bears successfully double steal. And Cran, who is 1 for 3 tonight, up with an opportunity. Kennedy misfires outside. It's a 2-0 count. Cran had a home run robbed in the 5th on a spectacular play by Maya Davis in center. Leads the team with 19 extra base hits. The 2-0 is fouled back. A .280 hitter on the season with 6 home runs and 13 doubles. 2 balls and a strike the count. Kennedy delivers, it's fouled back. Cran has been a tough player to strike out. Just 8 punch-outs and 157 at-bats. Trying to do anything but. And the 2-2 grounded left side to Tony. She's on to first, but it's not in time. Baylor ties up the game. Samaya Jones comes across to score, and Cran getting aboard safely at first. Bobbled initially by Tony, thought about going home, didn't have the time. Jones scores the tying run here in the 7th. And the first one fouled away as Faith Piper digs in. So the go-ahead run for the Bears now at second base in the form of Amber Tovin. That's a ground ball. Hits off the glove of Kennedy. She retreats behind the circle, but everyone will be safe. Multiple infield hits here in this inning for the Baylor Bears, and they've loaded them up with 1 out here in the 7th. It goes down as a hit for Faith Piper. The knock that tied the game by Leah Cran goes down as an error on Haley Tony.
Now batting number 33, Olivia Bittner.
And so tie ball game in the 7th with the bases loaded. Olivia Bittner at the plate. And she fouls the first bat. Bittner 1 for 3 this evening. A .212 hitter on the year. So misfires outside. Bears with a lot to play for here in the final weekend of the regular season. They've tied up the ball game here in the 7th. Looking for more. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Great offering from Kennedy. Now ahead in the count. A ball and 2 strikes. 2 1/3 worked out of the pen so far for Nyesha Kennedy. The 1-2. And it's fouled back. Good fight by Bittner. Amber Tovin, the go-ahead run at third. The bases loaded for the Bears. And the 1-2. It's a ground ball, but it's foul. Picked up by Jazzy Burns behind the plate. Bittner had a single to right field her last time up. And Kennedy thought she had strike three. They appeal. But it's just off the plate, and Bittner did not go around. Another look. Like it was a touch off the plate, and that Bittner indeed did hold up the 2-2. And she lays off. So a big payoff pitch awaiting. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. The bases loaded, the ball game tied. And fouled away. We'll do it again. Drama in the 7th here from Tracy Sellers Field. The 3-2. Kennedy gets the punch up. Her 5th strikeout in relief. And now there's 2 gone here in the 7th. What a big pitch from Nyjah Kennedy. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nowhere to put Olivia Bittner, and she sends her back to the dugout for strike 3. Baylor calling upon a pinch hitter, Casey West, the 5th-year senior from Liberty, Texas, grabbing a bat. And swings through the first, an 0-1 count. West with 8 hits in 30 at-bats, hitting .267. And Kennedy finds the top of the zone, an 0-2 count. Tried to go further upstairs, appeal down. Casey West, the pinch hitter, held up. West trying to deliver off the bench with the ball game tied, but the bases loaded. And she fouls one away. The Bears scoring a run here in the 7th to tie up the ball game. Texas Tech will have 3, 4, and 5 due up in the order in the home half of the 7th, the 1-2. She looks to climb the ladder, and Casey West lays off. The 2-2. Lays off once again. Good eyes from Casey West, her first AB of the night. Comes against the 2-time National Pitcher of the Year, works the count full with the bases juiced here in the 7th. And West out to right field, it's down. Tovin comes across to score. Here comes Cran, and Casey West delivers in the clutch. A 2 RBI knock, and Baylor goes ahead 8-6 here in the 7th. The 5th-year senior coming through when her team needs it the most, with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 7th, and rips it to right center to put her team ahead by 2 against Nyjah Kennedy. These Baylor Bears certainly fighting back. Jerry Glasgow, he said it earlier this week in his press conferences. He knew he was going to get everything from Glenn Moore's team. Glenn Moore's 26th season at the helm. He said they're fighting for their lives to get into the conference tournament. We're going to get everything thrown at us. They'll have desperation on their minds, and it has looked like it tonight. Coming into this inning, down by a run, 3 outs away from Texas Tech taking the series. And instead, Baylor strikes for 3 here in the top of the 7th. And Casey West delivers.
On time at second base. Texas Tech wants to challenge that she left early.
So Texas Tech using a challenge. One already unsuccessful tonight when they challenged if Baylor left early on Maya Davis's robbing of the home run. And now they're checking if the runner at second left early before the pitch. Here's the look at it. You have a challenge left, certainly a consequential play. A good time to use it. And from that angle, it does not look like Cran left early. Foot on the bag as Kennedy releases it. But you understand the decision. You have a challenge in your back pocket. You want to use it, but from the initial looks, doesn't look like Cran left early.
The ruling on the field has been confirmed. The runner did not leave early. Texas Tech has utilized both challenges. They have no challenges remaining.
The same conclusion that Perry Owens, John Baca, and Mike Hernandez, our umpire crew tonight, comes to as well. A pretty quick review, but Jerry Glasgow now out of challenges. And Texas Tech down by 2.
Now batting Lexi Warnke.
Lexi Warnke up to the plate. The Bears with 6 hits off Nigeri Kennedy in 2 2/3 innings of relief for the senior All-American being deployed out of the bullpen. That misses outside. So Kagan Marshall running at second for Casey West, who delivers that 2 RBI single. It was a full count, 2 outs, bases loaded, ball game tied. Casey West delivered a 2 RBI single for Baylor to put them ahead 8-6 here in the 7th. Kennedy trying to limit the damage, a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Here to Lexi Warnke. She gets the strikeout, but the damage has been done. Casey West gives the Bears a 2-run lead, and now they'll have a chance to close it out. But 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Red Raiders as we head to the bottom of the 7th. So Baylor had 3 outs to work with to score a run to tie the game. They score 3. They're now up by 2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And now it's Texas Tech's turn to try to see what they can do in the clutch. 3 outs to work with, and they need 2 runs to extend this ball game. Lexi Warnicki, who's worked 2 2/3 scoreless out of the bullpen so far. Jazzy Burns to right center. 1 hops off the wall, and she'll be held to a single. First pitch swinging, and Jazzy Burns' 3rd hit of the evening. Good start for Texas Tech here in the 7th. Neither team wanting to go down without a fight tonight. Baylor trailing entering the 7th, but they score 3 to take a 2-run lead. And now the Red Raiders, 3 outs to work with. They need 2 runs. Taylor Panel, ground ball to third, bobbled initially. Close play at first. Panel beats it out. The initial bobble by Marshall allows Panel to reach, and just like that, the tying run at first base. Hard hit ball, and it was on the exchange that Marshall bobbled it, allowing Panel to get aboard.
Further review.
Close play at first, but clearly Panel reaching in time. Fun ball game we've had tonight. A dozen hits for Baylor, 11 for Texas Tech, and they've now got 2 on. The Bears reviewing this one. Call on the field was safe, and it would be shocking if that got overturned. That one for Panel will go down in the book as an error if the call on the field is upheld and or confirmed.
After further review, the call on the field has been confirmed. The runner is safe at first base.
It's been
Baylor
confirmed.
has 1 down remaining.
And for Baylor, defense has been a big story tonight. They've turned 2 double plays. Those came in the first and the second. That ball hit hard enough, and they had a 5-4-3 turn earlier, but instead they get no outs. Burns gets to second. Panel gets to first. Lauren Allred comes to the plate with a big opportunity. Allred, first pitch swinging, goes to left, it's down. Run being waved home, and Jazzy Burns in Texas Tech makes it a 1-run ball game in the bottom of the 7th. Lauren Allred ambushes the first pitch she sees to the opposite field. Jazzy Burns being waved home. And the Red Raiders have the winning run now on the base paths and the tying run in scoring position. A back and forth affair tonight in a pitching change for the Baylor Bears. We'll tell you all about the new arm when we come back. Enter Peyton Tanner, the sophomore. Her 33rd appearance of the year, does have 2 saves, 9 wins, 8 losses, a 4 ERA in 113 2/3 innings, 86 walks to 86 strikeouts. She was the starter for Baylor yesterday, worked 5 innings, walked 6, allowed 5 runs, and was handed the loss. So she works here. With runners on first and second and nobody down. Desiree Spearman at the plate, the 0-1. A swing and a miss. So Texas Tech got a chance to see Tanner. She worked 5 last night. The Tennessee transfer trying to come in. And she gets a 3-pitch strikeout of Desiree Spearman. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Peyton Tanner, the sophomore out of Lake Jackson, Texas. Transfer from Tennessee, and the Red Raiders heads-up play. Taylor Panel takes 3rd. And the tying run gets that much closer on a heads-up swiped bag. No throw. Runners on the corners with 1 gone. And Taylor Panel is fired up. That's a strike. Panel, just like Peyton Tanner, both played at Tennessee last year. And now it's Panel representing the tying run. Tanner working to Haley Toney. And she watches off the plate. Toney 1 for 2 tonight. A single and a hit by pitch, a .328 hitter. And she fouls it away. The fans certainly engaged here at Tracy Sellers Field, a place where Texas Tech has had so much success. 16-1 here at home this year, down by a run in the 7th. The 2-2 pitch. That's off the plate. And a payoff pitch awaits. Lauren Allred, the runner at first. Taylor Panel at 3rd. And Toney fouls it away. Tying run in Taylor Panel at 3rd base. A huge stolen base just a moment ago. And the payoff. Foul ball by Haley Toney. That is up and out. And Toney gets the free pass. Red Raiders load them up. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Another look. Toney just holds up. And here we go, Maya Davis.
At the plate for the Red Raiders, number 42, Maya Davis.
She has more hits than anybody in college softball. In her career, the active hits leader. Would love to add 1 here and potentially end this ball game. Davis, ground ball. They go home. And a big play made at short by Amber Tovin to cut down the would-be tying run. And now there's 2 outs. Davis reaches on the fielder's choice. And that brings Caitlin Terry to the plate. with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. First one is up and out. Terry has walked twice tonight, scored a run, swiped a bag. She's 0 for 1. And she takes a strike on the outer half from Peyton Tanner, who's looking for her 3rd save. Terry fouls it away. Lauren Allred at 3rd, representing the tying run. Haley Toney at 2nd, the winning run. And one of the top hitters in the country at the plate in Caitlin Terry. A swing and a miss by Terry, and Peyton Tanner gets the punch out. Baylor takes it 8-7, forcing a rubber game upcoming tomorrow. A massive win for the Baylor Bears, as they were right on the cusp of getting into the Big 12 tournament, and that win goes a long way in helping them see their season prolonged to next weekend in Oklahoma City as they win it an 8-7 final. Texas Tech gets the winning run into scoring position with Caitlin Terry at the plate, but Peyton Tanner comes through with the big punch out, and it sets the table for a big matchup upcoming tomorrow on national TV. The series finale on ESPN upcoming tomorrow at 1:30, but Baylor takes this second of the 3-game set, 8-7 the final score. We thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Baylor and number 4 Texas Tech, 1:30 tomorrow on ESPN for the series finale. For our entire crew, my name's Will Connerly saying so long from Lubbock, Texas.